seats at all.
Well, rich will never have you winning anything. When I was at the former party director, there were polling companies that I used to give large donations to, and they'd write the results for them.
So you're saying the polling's rigged?
Of course, polling's rigged in Australia. You know, Rupert Murdoch owns News Poll, he owns Galaxy Poll, and the media tries to set the agenda and tries to determine the result of an election before it's been held. That's not a democracy. It's up to the people.
Do you like the feeling of power you have as a newspaper proprietor, of being able to sort of formulate policies for a large number of newspapers in every state of Australia?
Well, there's only one honest answer to that, of course, and that's yes. Of course one enjoys the feeling of power.
Mr Murdoch is entitled to his view. It's a democracy, free press. He owns 70% of the newspapers in this country, some of whom are represented here by fine journalists. But he owns 70% of them. Secondly, I think he's made it fairly clear, and through one of his editors the other day, that it doesn't really like us. And would like to give us the old heave-ho and get his mate Mr Abbott in. Well, it's a free country. He can do that if that's what he wishes, through a free media. He's also been very blunt in what he's said on Twitter, through his own statements, direct statements. I just referred to one on the NBN. The bottom line is, it's for others to ask the question why Mr Murdoch really doesn't want the National Broadband Network to be connected to everyone's home and everyone's small business premises. Does he sense it represents a commercial challenge to Foxtel, which is a major cash cow for his company, or not? But I'd rather hear from him on those questions, or hear from his corporation. As I said, in terms of his views and his determination to see Mr Abbott elected as Prime Minister, and his determination to see the end of myself. It's a free country. He's entitled to those views. I'm sure he sees it with crystal clear clarity all the way from the United States.
It was great when you could pick up the paper and get, well, news. Recently, the Courier Mail and the Daily Telly have been using their front pages to run a political campaign instead. Their owner, US billionaire Rupert Murdoch, has an agenda to get rid of our current PM. Fair enough. We all have an opinion. But political bias presented as news is, well, misleading crap. Don't let the crap decide your vote. Stand up for what you want. Tell Rupert we'll choose our own government.
Not surprisingly, on the Telegraph's Facebook page last week, there has been scorn by the bucket load.
You idiots would do anything for a story. The Daily Telegraph isn't good enough to put on the bottom of my bird cages or the cat's litter box.
Now, whether this campaign will damage Rudd at the ballot box is open to debate. But the PM's popularity has plummeted since the campaign began, and the telly's intentions are certainly clear. Back in April, News Limited, as it was then, told advertisers that the Telegraph's readers are
the people who decide federal elections.
We have not got time to tell you in detail what the other Murdoch papers are doing. They're not as bad as the telly. But Melbourne's Herald Sun has had its moments.
Rupert Murdoch is using his media syndicate in Australia to support a campaign to oust Kevin Rudd, the current Prime Minister and Labour Party leader, in order to protect his TV properties. Murdoch's newspapers account for almost 70% of the Australian market and have recently compared Rudd to a Nazi, among other unflattering characters. Australians will go to the polls this week to vote on the nation's Prime Minister.